The new Parkway Theater, where good food, diverse entertainment, and community create a place for everyone. For showtimes and special events, check out www.thenewparkway.com. You are listening to High Score 510, where real talk is our vernacular.
So we gotta tell a story about fishing for schlutes.
What are schlutes? Are schlutes? Oh, wait. Can I take a guess before we explain? Schlutes is what I would say what Brandon was looking for back in the day when he was playing the games on schedule. I'm not gonna say what I'm looking for. It's what Brandon was looking for. There's a big difference in the two.
I mean, yeah.
Schlutes. I like that name. Schlutes.
It's a good one.
Spell it for me.
SLUTS.
That spells sluts.
Tell me you didn't just say that.
It's an accent.
All right, sound check. Let's go ahead and do a sound check. Adarius, how you looking over there?
Eat a dick.
So you're happy with me? You can be a little louder.
Check. I can't be a little loud. Jared, I'm sick, you dickhead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to make sure you sound good. I'm trying to make you sound like you, Lando Calrissian and Marco Pavarotti's son.
Come on, man.
I'm not listening to this.
All right,
I'm walking home.
Aaron, check your sounds.
Mic check. Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4. Mic check 2. Mic check 1. How am I sounding? My mic sounds nice. Check 1. My mic sounds nice.
You can see
check
yourself.
2. My mic sounds nice. Check 3.
Yeah, see?
That's one of the old school songs. Jared don't know about that. Oh, I'm supposed to find this song. Hold on. Hey, you know that Snoop song that said, go on and work that motherfucker and do the percolator? Snoop Dogg came back with the head raider. Al Davis? No, nigga, Tracy Davis.
You sound like you're coming in pretty good.
Okay. Yes, nigga.
If you really wanted to be concentrated out, if you lean back like that, you sound really clear.
Only way I'll talk is if I do this, so eat a dick, nigga. It don't get close. Come on, Jared. He trying to put this shit on my lips, man. Come on, Jared.
I'll hook you up.
Jared, it's on my arm, Jared.
Hold on, you gotta tighten up that.
Oh, this is the best part right here, Jared.
Eat a dick, Jared, eat a dick, Jared, eat a dick, Jared, eat a dick.
Adarius, man, you here? We happy to have you here.
Oh, man.
Aaron's here. I got some notes on my phone that we could pop up with later, but
Dari Donuts.
Dari's powdered donuts. Powdered donuts. Oh man, quick story. If you guys have never seen feet look like powdered donuts, holla at your boy Adarius. You know, it's just powdered donuts all day, all night, AM, PM. Hostess powdered donuts.
That's why the world don't trust you, Jared.
All right, let's start this show. Hey, Adarius, I need a letter.
Letter? What do you mean a letter?
I need a letter for my tongue twisters, my vocal warm-ups.
D.
D.
D's nuts, nigga. See? This is what I'm talking about.
Deciduous dumpings.
Oh my God. No,
Delightfully.
No, he's a poet.
Motherfucker think he James Baldwin or some shit.
Let me tell you about James Baldwin. Okay? Deviant, delinquent, denials, disparately, disparagingly. Drake! Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You are listening to the High Score 510 podcast. You can catch us on highscore510.com, highscore510. Add us on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and the Twitter and the YouTube and the Instagram. Hit us up, engage with us, ask us questions. We have really good hot fire takes on everything, like Dylan. We are here with
This is A.G. Smooth, also known as Aaron Grayson, the third coming at you. You know how it is. I'm coming at you like Cuba Gooding Jr. at Bill Cosby's birthday at the Ace of Diamonds in Atlanta.
Those were not anti-gay remarks. Those are anti-LGBTQ remarks that I make because they are political terrorists. They are probably the closest things to the Ku Klux Klan in the modern political era.
Where did that come from? That was the one Pedro said, was it? Did you listen to the one Pedro said?
No, I missed that one.
Oh, my. Remember, he sent it twice. He found a link that worked.
Oh, man,
Dude,
I didn't see it yet.
I sent it to Sam. Sam said, the minute he hit play, you can't stop laughing.
Yeah.
This dude is going off. The sheriff in Tennessee is going off.
Hey, man, them Southern Tennessee sheriffs.
Make me think his official uniform is a white hood outfit while he driving a sheriff car. Did you hear the shit he say?
Yeah.
He's like, we gotta get swift justice.
I got my gun rack and my Confederate flag hanging in the back.
I'm not gonna say anything because I don't want to ruin it. You gotta watch it yourself.
What's the name of the?
I'll look it back up and send it back to you. It's full of bigotry, hatred, and ignorance.
Bigotry, hatred, and all that good shit.
Bigotry, ignorance, and hatred. I got
All right, hey, we are also here with.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Adarius, a.k.a. if I smoked with your mama, she'd probably get bronchitis or anything I got right now because I'm sick as shit. So tell your mama to wear a condom on that mouth when she smoke with me, okay? There you go.
Do you like teenage girls?
Wow.
When you say teenage, how old are we talking?
Okay, wow. Wow.
your first time back and he just give you the worst soundbite he can get. Wow. I don't know what was worse. He made me sound like a bigot, and then made you sound like a pedophile.
Fucking hottest take of all time, folks.
Oh man,
I don't know which was worse.
Quick little side story. This dude at work came up to me and said, "Hey man, I got the best idea ever." I said, "What is it, nigga?" He said, "I'm thinking about starting Tinder for babies."
Come on.
Now, you gotta understand, if you frame that terribly, it sounds terrible. What you were trying to say was play dates for little kids, but it sounded like he was trying to date little kids. So choose your words wisely.
for sure. This dude at your job.
I'm not gonna say his name. Sergio should get fired.
Come on, man.
Shout out to Sergio sponsorship. If it takes off sponsorship.
Sergio Garcia.
No, Sergio, I don't want no sponsorship for anything to do with Tinder and babies.
Tinder and baby.
Baby Tinder.
You better off trying to sell Camel cigarettes to babies.
And my name is DJ Art with two T's.
Your name is Eat a Dick.
And my name is DJ Art with two T's for a double dose of that tink. The D is silent, so it's just Jart.
It's just sharp.
All right, here we go.
He's looking through soundbites right now. He literally was on his phone looking up all the topics for what he wanted to talk about. Justin Bieber challenge. Cuba Gooding Jr. But he couldn't get his stupid ass soundbites together. So
You got a Cuba Gooding Jr. challenge here?
We're just
That's
waiting
all
for
right.
Jared.
All right, here we go. I got you.
It's like waiting for Guffman.
Or waiting for Godot.
Or like
Even
waiting.
though we doing it real grand, if this rap don't work, we running up in niggas' houses, motherfucker.
We gonna be hit the streets, son. Moving mad rock all day, selling that real heavy drug shit.
We
We be flipping them burgers at Wendy's, my nigga. You know what I mean? With the fries and shit. I do whatever, nigga. Shakes, all that extra ketchup hit. Need some napkins, you feel me?
Got your pork gyoza, Jared.
For sure. That's what I'm talking about. Some
What's
pork
your port
gyoza.
postal code?
94612.
94612.
Please call. And I will send my slave.
You send your slave downstairs?
Slaving them.
So you know what that means.
Please call and I will send down my useless friend. He is useless, but he is willing to give my food, so we are still friends.
Is that what you put as the note for the order?
Yes, that's the note for the order.
So you know what that means.
They're definitely not gonna spit in our food now. They're like, these motherfuckers is crazy.
He's calling. I will send my.
He might give me that special K mayonnaise, that protein mayonnaise.
Come on,
I'm gonna get that special extra protein mayonnaise in my food thanks to that note.
All right, so
my food gonna be looking like a lotion bottle. My ramen gonna look like someone squeezed some Jergens into the middle of it.
you better be careful. You're gonna have they're like, oh, the egg just ain't cooked all the way yet.
Yeah. They gonna say that.
Nah, that's just cum, nigga.
That's worse than those oysters we had, Jared.
Oh man, Darius, you heard about that story, right?
Why Jared hates Lucas now and oysters?
Another reason why I hate Lucas. Darius, did you hear that story? All right, so we were there. You know, Lucas has their like $1 oysters on Mondays. It's like a little happy hour deal they do during happy hour. And so we had gone there a few times, and it was like cool little deals. Like one of the last reasons why I would go to Lucas, because I wouldn't really go to Lucas much unless it was like a special occasion or like a real reason to go. I wasn't going there to be like, man, let's grab dinner tonight, let's go to Lucas, or let's grab drinks, let's go to Lucas. So we went there for their little oyster thing on a Monday. We had a Monday off. You know, schools.
Yeah.
You know, have vacation days sometimes. So we over here get our oysters. We get like 15 oysters, something like that. I look at them and I'm like, they got this white substance on them. They're kind of like creamy looking. I'm like, what is that? And the person put it down, I'm like, what's this creamy substance? And they're like, oh, that's just the way they come. No, it's just part of like their whatever. They kind of like said it passively, like something that didn't make any sense. So I was like, all right. I was like, let me try this. And I ate it, and it tasted kind of just weird. And I was like, this is not the oysters I'm used to having.
This is the cum that I'm used to.
I was like, this is not the kind of cum I'm used to. You know, it's just bags of baby dick type cum, not no oyster cum now. You know. Anyways, so I asked the waiter like back over after I had like two. I had two, and I was like, this is not right. This is not even cool. I was like, what? I was like, what is this creamy stuff? I've never seen this before. And the dude's like, oh yeah, so it's spawning season, and so a lot of them are excreting their eggs and sperm for the spawning season. And I said, so you got me eating oyster nut juice. And he's like, you could say that. And I was like, so I'm just eating a bunch of sperm and eggs from these oysters, then so basically you just got me eating a bunch of all day sperm and eggs. And he's like, yeah. He's like, a lot of people really like it though, and it's not uncommon. And I was like, I'm good, bro. I was like, I'm not trying to eat all this oyster nut sauce. So this oyster white sauce, I don't need that shit. I was like, I'm good. He's like, you want to take it off the bill? I was like, yes, please do. Please do. I'm not eating no more of these. And that's not me being like intrinsically like socialized to be homophobic or some way, like talking about eating some nuts and eggs and white creamy substance. It just didn't taste good either. It was like, it didn't taste right.
If the oyster had been drinking pineapple juice the night before, you would have liked it.
I was like, this is some good ass shit. Got some Hawaiian oysters over here.
Yeah, give me that good sweet cum.
It was like, can I get a dozen of the pina colada oysters, please? Like, nah, bro, it was not good.
I'm not going to say who, but there was a time in my life where I drank a bunch of pineapple juice for the request of one of my ex-girlfriends. Just so she can drink cum.
That's what's up.
Dude, pineapple juice changes the world, man.
It changes the world. I was like, you got a problem.
You're like, but I'm going to drink a lot of pineapple.
But I'm invested in pineapples.
So, like, can I eat the pineapple too? Can I just have pineapple any which way?
You want.
Hey, well, shit. Aside from pineapple juice and nut sauce from oysters and all the other good shit we talked about, which I want to call out sponsorship for everything we talked about.
Sponsorship for Jared drinking nut sauce. Come on. Hey, nut sauce, come on the show.
Nut sauce.
Sponsorship for Jared being an MBBJ number 5. That was one of the first videos I saw my roommate order in my freshman year of college. MBBJ.
What is the MBBJ stand?
Nothing but blowjobs, number 5. It was 6.5 hours of nothing but blowjobs.
VHS blowjobs.
I don't know how in the hell they watched that shit. I said, man, you guys are strange people.
I thought it was gonna be nothing but
6. I think it was 5.5 hours. 5.5 hours.
You gotta really choose your favorite scenes on the VHS though.
Like, they would just watch it. I'll come in the dorm room and it's just on in the background. It was like going to a bar and they playing a game.
Aaron, let's kick it off with the first thing, the
first
NBA
thing,
Finals.
NBA Finals. The finals are now over. It ended.
NBA Finals occurred. The Warriors lost in 6 games.
Warriors lost on Thursday night in Game 6 in Oracle. Closed down Oracle with the loss.
They lost all 3 games at home in the series, and basically, more or less, were outclassed just by the effort, the hustle, and execution throughout the finals. So, I'll send it to you guys to give your take on what happened. But it was a surprise to many, not to some. One being myself. But it was something that I think overall caught a lot of people off guard. So, anyways, Aaron, what is your take on the finals and your observations?
I do want to say this. Remember, one person did predict Toronto to win. It was me.
That was a long time ago. The week when we got to actually predicting the finals, you was like, man, 4 or 5 games.
Yeah, I did change up. First, I predicted Toronto to beat Milwaukee and win, and then we talked about which team would give the Warriors a harder struggle, and I said Toronto. Yeah. And I said and when we made our predictions, I said what I want to happen is Toronto winning 7. I said, but what I think was going to happen was Warriors winning 6.
Nobody predicted the collapse of the Warriors, though.
Yeah, I didn't predict it like this, but I thought Toronto would be the team that could give them trouble just because of their defense. But what I was surprised by with Toronto, wasn't surprised by Kawhi doing what Kawhi does. I know, he's stoic, he stands in there for everything. I was surprised by how Toronto, it seemed like every game it was a different couple of people that stepped up. Yeah. Kyle Lowry didn't do nothing in Toronto, but he balled on the road.
Fred
Van Fleet had that last game in the game 1 and game.
Yeah, several games where he was.
Siakam had game 1 and game 6.
Yeah. He scored like 45 points in game 1 or some shit.
It's like 35. Yeah, like 35.
Yeah, Siakam had game 6. Kyle Lowry stepped up game 6 and game 4. Yeah. It was just in game 5 and 6. It seemed like it was different people. Then they had Danny Green. Danny Green was game 3.
He's a constant. He's just a good constant.
But he only scored 2 points in game 6, right?
I don't even know, but he was constantly being a good defender and being a threat on the perimeter to shoot if you didn't cover him properly.
But he was making shit.
So say that that was my Toronto side. The Warriors side, I've seen teams break down after winning a couple titles. Injuries. I was there when the Lakers lost. Magic and Byron Scott and Detroit got their first title. Wasn't happy about it, but it's part of the game. Warriors, I think the thing is I think without Kevin Durant, I'm going with the team without Kevin Durant, the one that started the series. Mm-hmm. I think that they play well collectively together, but as soon as they started missing those pieces, the collective and cohesive things happen, and then they're not deep like they were the first year. To me, Toronto looked more like with that Warriors team without this explosive outside shooting though from the beginning, but they looked more like it, like they had more depth, like someone else could pick up the scoring. Like Danny Green scoring this game. Danny Green didn't score this game, but guess what? This person's scoring. This person's scoring that game. Whereas Steph Curry, he did what he did in that game. What was that, game 3 when he had 40?
Yeah.
For almost 50 points.
I think that ruined the rest of the series, honestly, because I think he worked so hard on that game that it took him a few days to get his legs back, but he never got his legs back. I think he was literally fatigued because even in the Toronto or the Portland series, he was playing a lot and doing a lot to kind of carry them through that.
I wish we would have lost in 5. We could have kept Clay.
Yeah, I think.
I've been so tired.
Yeah, Klay Thompson also tore his ACL. If you don't know, tore his ACL on the final game, Game 6. He was He had already had 30 points.
He had 30 points when he got. He had 28 because he made the last two.
Through the third period.
He had 28.
He had 30 points. He was really kind of, being that piece that. For me, it was cool to see Klay kind of stepping up, being cold-blooded. Steph was still struggling, but the thing is that. It was allowing the Warriors to see, like Aaron has been saying, is this team really good enough to be a champion without the KD? Or, what does it look like without KD, this team having to grind out titles? And so I enjoyed seeing Klay make some big shots. Steph made a big shot, but was struggling most of the time in that Game 5. It was one of the things where you got to see some of the resilience that we didn't get to see with KD joining the Warriors, but they were able to show.
Iguodala balled out there in Game 6.
Yeah, but they were able to show
I wish you would have shot more, man.
Yeah, they were able to show what they could do as a team. That original team, more so. And the one person I do really, I'm going to be critical on the most, and the person that I do one of my favorite players is Draymond Green.
I was just about to ask you.
No, I'm going to be real. I'm going to be real. Steph Curry didn't play well. Period.
No,
Clay was consistent and constant. Had a struggle the first game, missed a game, but when he played, he was overall like probably their most consistent player defensively, offensively, and making big clutch shots. Right?
Yeah.
Then you had Steph struggled, but Draymond Green, for the games I watched, I missed a couple games. The last game I didn't get to watch at all. But all I know is that Draymond Green was the catalyst that helped them sweep Portland, but he was also the dude that didn't elevate his game. Maybe it's Toronto's part. Maybe it's him just trying to focus on playing ultra good D. But his impact wasn't felt the same way it was in the first title, the way it was felt in that Western Conference Finals. He seemed to, like, regress in that finals in a way that typically I always see Draymond everywhere. You know, he blocked the shot in Game 5. They realized at the end, but, like, he's rebounding, he's running the court. They weren't running the court very well. He wasn't pushing the ball nearly as much. And it was kind of weird because it seemed like Toronto was just as much, if not more, pushing the pace, looking for fast break opportunities. And the Warriors, that's typically what they're doing. They weren't doing that. So I got to get on Draymond Green for not the areas that he typically impacts the game that people either overhype or some people don't appreciate as much and don't understand. He wasn't a constant presence and a constant factor that I was like, this dude is one of the 3 or 4 best players on the court. I felt like he was kind of like drifting in there with, like, Kyle Lowry, Danny Green. Like, he was just another role player. He was like not making a bigger impact, I felt like, than even like a Marc Gasol. So it's disappointing because I expected him to take his game to the next level, and he was consistently solid, but he wasn't great. And if he wants this team to be recognized as a great team, he's got to be the third player that's also playing great. And there's times where he's shown it and he didn't show it in this series. So,
do you think it was the matchup though? Do you think it was?
I think
he was going against someone that
younger
and just as but more athletic than him. And I always my knock on Draymond Green when he was getting all the hype was, and I agree with you, he does do these things well. He's a very smart player. But my knock was on him was that when everyone always gave him the hype about defense was that he is a great rim protector. I give him that, especially for his size. But I say he don't go. There's no power forwards in the league. Like, he came in the league when Tim Duncan's basically old now. Yeah. And there's no, Kevin Garnett was on his way out. That he wasn't going against any like elite power forwards anymore. There are none in the league. Basketball's been changing, right? Yeah. And so when he is guarding a big man, it's some unathletic person that can barely move. Yeah. Or not as skilled. And then when he is guarding a little guy, it's just for a little bit of time, either someone that can't shoot outside or, not someone in a higher quality player. Yeah. And so this one, when he saw and this is one of the things I thought I saw when I saw him against Siakam, I was like, remember before the series started, I said, that's going to be a tough matchup. Hey, you got to hang with someone that's faster than them, jump higher, and going to run, and had a good year.
Yeah.
So it could be the matchup, though, too.
I can say it's some of the matchup. I think the matchup did affect him some, but he didn't take open threes, and a lot of times I saw him, the ball swinging around. And, it's good to make the extra pass, Draymond, know your teammates. But there was several times where he just passed up open, nobody was running at him. It's like, dude, set your feet and shoot.
Yeah, he should have shot more to keep him honest.
Here's the problem, is that the Warriors had 2 players that all they did is say, Van Fleet, Lowry, Green, you just stay on their hip and just chase them around the perimeter the entire time. And don't let them catch the ball. And, you fight through screens, you grabbing them, whatever you need to do to just basically be on it to where they're not going to catch and feel comfortable just taking that shot. And if they are, you're going to have a good chance to be at least contesting it. They hit it. But they're not comfortable. The ball movement and the spacing wasn't allowing them to just catch and just bust open threes on a regular basis that they're maybe more accustomed to. So credit to Toronto. But when you have a player that isn't keeping the other players honest, so that, the guy who is helping on that screen or the guy who is chasing the ball around that screen doesn't have to think about, well, man, this dude over here can still hit it, so I can't just pursue this one player quite as hard because I might need to help and go flash on this dude. It felt like Toronto's role players were being more of a threat and keeping the Warriors honest and struggling defensively than the Warriors' role players, and that's one of the big reasons why the Warriors lost that series. Key for me, Steph Curry doesn't just go for threes and is really attacking 2-point range and making them stay honest. That's what he could have done to make them be more honest. He didn't do it as much as they could have. The Warriors, Toronto attacked them in a myriad of ways. They were getting the threes by penetrating and making the Warriors collapse. They were getting that by creating mismatches and then making the Warriors collapse. The Warriors did not do that as well as Toronto did. And that's why Toronto was always in the game or winning the game. And their players, all their other players were always in sync because they were attacking the Warriors. The Warriors maybe didn't play the best brand of defense they could have, but at the same time, they kept them honest, and those guys, all those guys were like, it wasn't like Fred VanVleet scored 40 points and then nobody else on the bench scored. Like, all those fools were pitching in like, sometimes it'd be like an 8-point game,
15,
but then every once in a while it was like a 15 or almost
15.
20-point game.
Yeah.
And it's big shots at different times where like the momentum's changing. So that's what the Warriors really feel themselves, and I feel like Steve Kerr got out coached by Nick Nurse.
Oh, wow, that's a big one. You hear that?
Yeah.
Hold on.
I woke up.
Steve Kerr was out
He
coached.
said he got out
Steve Kerr.
Darius, dude.
Steve Kerr. Now, here's what I'll say about Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr
I
is
think Nick Nurse looked like an H&R Block of comedy.
Nick
Nick Nurse looked like the dude from X-Files that was a pedophile.
Wasn't Nick Nurse selling selling houses right before this?
I think, honestly, I think Nick Nurse was working at your local lens crafters. I was like, this nigga over here. I was like, where is he from? Nick Nurse looked like the manager at a Jamba Juice. That's what Nick Nurse looked
He
like.
was like an 8th grade assistant principal.
it's like, listen to the things Nick Nurse looked like. Like, shit. He did look like 8th grade principal. I'll give you that. 8th grade principal was a good one. Yeah, nah, Nick Nurse. I'm not going to give it all on Nick Nurse because I think, Nick Nurse and his staff, they did a great job. Steve Kerr's good at letting his staff have their fingerprints on the roster. Steve Kerr, I think, allowed that to also be a reason why he's not like a great X's and he's a good X's and O's coach, but he didn't make the necessary adjustments that were gonna make that series in the Warriors' advantage. He didn't know how to mold or just make subtle adjustments with the way the scheme or whatever they were doing to allow his players to change slightly how they play and then be more effective in that scenario. They didn't adapt to the opponent. And I'll tell you this, you do what you do. Execute at your highest level. Do what you do best and let everything else shake out. But at the highest levels, you have to be able to do what you do, and then if things aren't going exactly the way you normally let them shake out, you got to say, hey, it's time to adjust a little bit to maximize our ability. They didn't do that. The Warriors didn't do that. Defensively, they didn't do that because they were like, man, let's start doubling Kawhi hella early and then just leaving some dude open. And
It worked at the end of Game 5.
The Warriors were used to playing teams who were like, wait, what do you mean swing the ball? What does that mean? Like, what is a pump fake and then swinging it? Or what is not taking the first shot but swinging it to get to the second best shot, the next best shot? They played a team who knew how to do that. They played a team with vets. They played a team with a good amount of playoff experience. So it didn't surprise me that Toronto was able to do what they did. I'm surprised that the Warriors didn't adjust enough to be able to maximize their abilities. It's like, all right, let's make some adjustments. Let's have, like, Steph, I want you attacking, taking mid-range jumpers, consistently scoring, consistently making them have to collapse on you, and then we'll probably get better shots on the outside. The way he put out his lineups out there, it's like, dude, you put out lineups that only have Steph or Klay as the shooters and nobody else has the confidence to hold them accountable outside the three-point line. There was parts in that series where the Warriors were playing where nobody else could shoot or everyone else was afraid to shoot. Draymond Green wouldn't take open threes. Quinn Cook is Quinn Cook. Andre Iguodala was taking them, which I appreciated, but he's not known for hitting those. You know what I'm saying? Sean Livingston? No. Jonas Jerebko, European white dude, tall dude. I thought he could shoot. He ain't shit. Get him off the court. Andrew Bogut? No. Kayvon Looney? No. You know what I'm saying?
Darius must really be sick because he just grabbed the dog blanket to lay him out.
I'm really that sick. Oh, bitch.
She showed some ups right there. Darius, she had to jump over it.
Bitch, this white bitch is like, I need my blanket back, man.
You gotta look.
That bitch is like, nah, man, give me my shit back, nigga.
Nah, nigga.
How did Darius sound right there, Jerry?
Nigga. Probably better than I was on the motherfucking.
Did he sound like
I'm coming in hot?
Are you asking whether or not he sounds asleep? No.
Does he sound like Steve Kerr in the huddle?
Probably. Hey, anyways, yeah. So Warriors lost. Unfortunate series of events.
Boo hoo.
Boo.
It's okay. The Warriors will be back next year at the White Man Stadium.
Yeah,
man, yes, I agree.
White Man Stadium Central. We going there. He's just coughing all over my phone mic cover.
It's your mic. I'm glad it's your mic.
Damn it.
Stop by.
I'm really sick. That's what you get, you dirty nigga.
So going into that though, my next thing, Jared, is where do the Warriors go from here? You never mentioned Boogie Cousins, so or his play. So do you think Boogie comes back? Is he where'd he go? Lord,
it's all about how they move the budget.
We got free
around.
agents.
We got some free agents. You're not
unrestricted free agents.
You're not gonna offer Clay or KD the max. You're gonna offer them 1 year, basically a severance, or 1 year, not a severance, a retainer. Maybe a 2-year retainer because you know it's going to take them at least 1 year to recover.
Yeah, there you go.
So you're going to offer one of those dudes like a lightweight contract. You're going to use the rest of that money. You're going to start holding down more contracts. And I think, although people like Sean Livingston, which I don't even know if he's coming back to NBA, but people who are like bench and like those type of role players, basically the macaws of our time, right?
The Quentin Cooks of our time.
Like Quentin Cook is not going to make the cut. McKenzie's not going to make the cut. I would be surprised, even though they called him the future, I'd be surprised if Bogut and Looney come back.
Bogut's not coming back. Or he might come back for a base minimum.
Well, it has to be one of them.
He's still under contract in Australia.
Looney's about to get money, though. He's about to
get
paid.
I mean, Clippers?
Somebody going to pay him. He showed enough.
Somebody else is going to pay him, though.
Yeah, he's gonna get paid. Looney's actually is developed into a solid player from the time he came out.
He'd be somebody really good for like a Laker team, like a fundamental, just like crash the boards, nothing too fancy, can get you twos and putbacks. Yeah. Like
he's basically gonna be like
Anthony Davis kick out in the corner now.
Yeah, he's a solid player. I appreciate him fighting through the injury. I think he deserves to get paid. The Warriors probably won't be able to afford him. Boogie might come back for like another 1 year deal if they were like. Here's the thing. He
gets offered some decent money.
Here's the thing.
He ain't gonna go.
No. This is where I think it's gonna be interesting to see. You're gonna have Boogie, KD, Clay, all free agents. They might like if they won this title. I was like, KD's gone. He's won his title 3 in a row. He's not going to stay. There's no reason for him to stay.
They can't.
No. Right now,
they can't do that now, Jared.
Here's what I'm saying. Let me just say.
They caused a shift in his fucking basketball career. Like they're not gonna not pay him for that. Like
no. But what I'm saying,
I know what you're saying.
They
bro.
might.
There's no way that the A's are gonna just. They're not gonna do it. They're too loyal. They won't do it.
What are you talking about? I'm saying is that they're gonna. Those fools might be like, let's run it back 1 more year. They all sign max contracts 1 year. I think one of them's gonna sign a longer contract.
Not playing. That'll be 2 years because they're not playing next year.
Exactly. What is a 1 year max contract? That ain't gonna get him shit.
I think KD's back for the playoffs.
You know what else was
wherever he goes, if they're in the playoffs, he's going to be able to run.
You know where KD's recovering at right now?
Where?
Guess where he's at?
LA.
In New York.
Nope, New York.
In New York.
He's moved all his stuff there.
Yep.
He does not. They said it.
He had basically a
one-way ticket. This is like Adrian Wojciechowski's talking. People get real fast. Not Jay Glazer.
Yeah.
Not Stephen A. Smith making shit up. You know, AJ don't pronounce it unless he knows it. He's like, dude, he's been in contact with Kyrie every day. They're both in New York. He's like, he's in New York.
All right, we'll see.
Well, I do know he's staying out there, but I've also heard the grumbling.
Why would he recover in New York?
I'm not sure, but why? But my other question
he had the surgery in New York. That tells you enough right there.
Dude, if we got Draymond.
But he was in Toronto when he did it. So it's easy to go straight down to New York.
If we drop Boogie Cousins,
you think Klay going to have his surgery in New York?
No.
Klay going to have surgery in L.A. or here?
Well, because he injured it here, though.
It don't matter.
I'm going to say, let me. I would think, so my thing is, there's a better chance that they'll be like, let's run it back and win this title and shut everybody up that hated on us all year. That those dudes are petty enough, or not petty enough, but but
that's 2 years away. I don't think KD can afford to lose that money.
It's fine. I think that probably not. I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I'm saying it increases the chances of them still getting KD and having Clay and Steph and getting one more run at it. But I doubt that's gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna happen. I never said it's gonna happen. I'm just saying it increases the opportunity for that to happen. Yes. But I will say, I think Boogie might want to run it back 1 year, heal up, do like a slow program where the Warriors are like, yeah, like you're going to be a big part of our plans, but you don't have to come back right away because we're still talented enough, maybe. Well, without Clay, it's going to be different. But we're still talented enough to be like kind of hold serve. You can ease your way into the season and get going like by like, a month into the season, 2 months into the season, be fully healthy. We don't need to like have you like ready by the start of the season. Let him heal up properly from the quad and the Achilles. And then Clay will be back probably. You never know. Clay could be back as like a hard worker. He seems like he's diligent enough. He'll be back by the end of the season next year. Yeah. And then you have a team that could be, the Warriors might finish like a 6th or 7th seed next year. Yeah, that's a realistic thing. You have
higher than that.
It's a lot of big assumptions there, Jared.
I don't know. Maybe.
That's a lot of big assumptions.
That's an assumption. Well, it's going to be all right now,
That is a
Steph,
lot of big ones.
and whatever other help. Like, think about it like this. You're assuming KD is gone. Think about it like this. This is if Boogie somehow stays.
I think he's gonna stay.
He might stay because he wants to win one. Clay is out for most of next year.
Yeah.
Draymond, Steph. Who else is on that squad?
Boogie.
They'll have Iggy.
Boogie might go back to New Orleans.
That's
Iggy's better in the playoffs. Iggy would do you well in the playoffs. I think Iggy's gotten old now.
Yeah, he's got to play like 25 minutes a game.
What the fuck is he going to do for the
He's
other
got to play
82
25
games?
minutes a game. That's what Iggy is. But what I'm saying is, this. You guys are playing to my point. The Warriors don't have anybody else that were like, man, we could turn to this dude. He's young. He's ready to go.
I agree. Yeah.
They don't have anybody. Like, so 6-7 seed is actually like kind of realistic in my eyes because you're looking at it with, it's not the
I'm
splash
looking at
brothers
the
anymore.
other teams though. I don't think they're good enough to pass them up.
Well, I think
the only ones that's gonna be ahead of them, and we'll go into this more like why is the Lakers now.
Well, let's get to that.
No, you're tripping, bro. The shit that the Jazz did this year was kind of wild.
No, the Jazz will be probably tight. So maybe
and they're
you're right,
all
Jared.
young, except for Brent.
You
What's
still
his
got
name?
Portland. You got Oklahoma. I guess
Okay.
you might be right.
Okay,
A
yeah,
6
for
seed is
sure.
realistic.
Jared is always right.